is where tradition never dies. This is your radio, Cayman.
In answer to his question about the subjects,
there are more questions than answers.
Radio Cayman, talk today.
oh, what a compliment. For that, I thank you.
What is happening now? There are hopeless and hungry.
Now it's time for us to stand up to God or we'll fall to nothing.
It's time now for Radio Cayman's Talk Today. If you're ready to talk, we're willing to listen.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
Listening to the general public, what the public is saying.
Good afternoon, Cayman Islands. This is Kathy Miller. I'm filling in for Sterling Dwayne Ebanks this afternoon on Talk Today, and we have a pretty good show planned for you this afternoon. I'm inviting callers, at least for the first 15 minutes or so. Give me a call at 1-800-534-8255, 949-8037, 949-6990, or you can WhatsApp me at 925-3261. The lines will be open. We can talk about what you would like to discuss for the first 15 minutes of the show. From 12:30, we'll be having the National Gallery in studio. They're going to be talking about a new exhibition that they have. And then from 1:30 to 2:30, Honorable J. Ebanks, Minister for Planning, Agriculture, Housing and Infrastructure, PAHI, and Leda Nicholson Makasari, Acting Chief Officer in PAHI, will also be joining me in studio to discuss Project Nice. Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, Tourism and Transport. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. MedLab in Smith Road Plaza, your complete medical laboratory solution. Call 949-7331. And Savannah Pharmacy in Countryside Shopping Village, convenient opening hours including Sundays and holidays.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today, the Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program. We ask our listeners to avoid statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use any indecent language or make any statement which is false or misleading. Email talktoday@candw.ky or call 1-800-534-8255.
Courtesy of Live Communication.
Let your voice be heard.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. I'm Kathy Miller, filling in for Sterling Dwayne Ebanks this afternoon. And as mentioned, we do have a packed show today, but right now we're going to have open line. So you can give me a call at 1-800-534-8255, 949-8037, 949-6990, or you can send me a WhatsApp message, 925-3261. I will try to get your message out as soon as I can. We got a couple announcements to make, or things that we could really discuss, and one of them is definitely the border reopening. I know I've been asking people to call in, give me your thoughts. Are you scared? Are you anxious? Do you feel good about it? What's your opinion on this so far? Do you have any suggestions? Also, allegedly, there is a cruise ship scheduled to come to the Cayman Islands for the end of December with I can't remember if it's 1,400 passengers, roughly 12 or 1,400 passengers that are apparently on board for this cruise ship, end of December, to the Cayman Islands. Apparently it has been approved. I'm saying apparently for a reason, so I'd absolutely love to get the details on that. But how do you feel about that? We do have a caller online, so let's take that call. Good afternoon. Thank you for calling Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Ms. Miller. Thanks for standing in the divide and meet.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your support, as always.
Would like to offer condolences to the small town of Waukesha in Wisconsin, and it has a direct relation to our Caymanian Rotarian community.
Oh, okay.
And also has a relationship with us through our maritime heritage, because they do have a maritime heritage in Waukesha, in Wisconsin. a lot of their Navy people have come from there. But Waukesha is important to our Rotarians, our youngsters who have attended over time a World Affairs seminar over the last about 7 years. And a lot of Caymanian youngsters have been to Carroll University during the summer to experience an international occasion with similar-minded youngsters, up to 2,500 youngsters. And they've shared fellowship. And because the town is such a small town, everybody knows a lot about each other, similar to how we operate. And they had a very tragic circumstance on a couple of days ago. It was a Christmas parade, and a gentleman plowed into a crowd, and a number of people died.
Right.
And a number of people are in hospital.
I believe a child was confirmed passed away yesterday.
Yes, a sixth child, if I'm not mistaken. There were some of the people we know personally, because we did gather acquaintances, so we do offer our prayers for their recovery, and we would like to commiserate with them. A group of our Caymanian youngsters, there were probably about 5 or 6 at a time, who would go each summer to have this seminar, as I've described before. And as such, they permeated community, and they absorbed. When they came back to Cayman, they would come back with their Waukesha experience. So I'm just offering at this time of Thanksgiving and challenge with empathy for our fellow human beings in Waukesha. Have a pleasant evening, and may we have a very successful program today. I'd like to welcome the National Gallery as they come along.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your words. They were very kind, very thoughtful. And yes, our condolences. That was an awful situation that did happen in Wisconsin. And it just leaves you to wonder what drives people to do these awful things to innocent people, to take their lives, to endanger them. What is it about the holidays or large group gatherings that people feel they need to be so violent? What's going wrong there? So when it's a time that we should be reflecting, and we should be thankful for what we do have and the current circumstance that we're all trying to make it through right now, you have some people who like to pull these very unfortunate stunt is a euphemism to use right now and a word to describe it, but it was an absolute tragedy, and it just makes you wonder why people will use these special occasions and very memorable occasions to prove whatever their point might be, which is often a violent and aggressive one. So yes, we do offer our condolences. Thank you very much for that phone call. Right before that phone call, I was talking about 2 big things that are happening. Well, one right now in Cayman is definitely our borders reopening. How do we feel about that? What are your thoughts? The way I look at it is if nobody wants to express their thoughts with me, then y'all must be quite happy about it. So, I'm happy about the border reopening for sure. I wish it did open up a little sooner. I know that there's a lot of things to mitigate, to think about, to get into place. There's a lot of ducks to line up, and we're just doing the best we can. I think we're trying the best we can right now, but I hope that residents will keep in mind that we just have to be diligent still. We have to do our sanitation process, wear masks in public areas and when required indoors, especially when going into private businesses. No matter what your personal belief is on this pandemic, we have to respect each other and somewhat take equal action when it comes to just being respectful of one another in consideration of the pandemic and what's going on. We know that we have, I think it's 29 people admitted right now in the hospitals. So I believe it's 6 in Health City. I'm not sure if more were admitted overnight. But yesterday when we did have Dr. Williams and Lizette Yearwood from HSA, we had them both on and they were discussing their kind of the COVID protocols, what's going on, what to do with your lateral flow tests. Please remember that you can go to the explore.gov.ky website. When you get there, you'll see a health tab at the top. in that health tab, you will see the area where you can report your lateral flow tests. So if you are doing these, a lot of places are requiring that you do these tests. If you're going to visit somebody vulnerable, please make sure that you do your lateral flow test ahead of time, just to see if you can detect a trace of COVID-19 in your system. We do have a caller on the line, and let's take that call. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
Thank you for taking care of us today.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for listening.
I'm wondering if my radio is too loud.
It probably is. It's usually we usually tell people to turn their radios off because it will create a delay and a bit of an echo. So that but you can hear me. So as long as you hear me, you're perfect, and everybody else will hear you perfectly.
I just got it turned off.
Okay.
In a nutshell, could you just repeat what the gentleman called in to offer his sympathies about?
Yeah, there was a parade in Wisconsin.
A parade in Wisconsin?
Yes, and the city or town, which I did not... I mean, I'm not going to butcher the name, but it does start with a W as well. Unfortunately, there was a parade, and somebody drove into the parade and killed a bunch of people. Yeah. And so what our caller was calling to express was that we have a group of young Rotarians that go over each year in a summer program. And Wisconsin? So, yes, but to this particular city.
Oh.
So there's that tie with the Rotarian community there, and so that's
so sad.
Yeah, it is. It's very, very sad.
That's Caymanian. That's Caymanian that he called in and offered condolences. That is so nice. I just wish we could be all Caymanian again. Anyway, thank him and thank you for repeating it. I just seem to have missed that little part, the point that he really called in about. So thank you so much.
Thank you for calling and expressing your thoughts as well. And I like how you said that you wish we could all be Caymanian again, in the sense of how he called and gave his condolences, and it's just the kind, the right, the gracious thing to do. And my thought is, as long as we keep doing that, as long as Caymanians just keep that, that standard, that behavior, then other people will pick up on it and mimic that behavior. So my thing is, don't ever lose it. Don't ever lose it. No matter what you see around you, you keep true to yourself. Don't ever lose that.
Let me now continue with what I was really wanting to call in about.
Okay.
And this morning on the talk program with Mr. Connor, someone called in and felt that our garbage collectors have not been shown the appreciation that they need, the recognition that they value. And I want to continue in supporting that caller on this program today, that I agree with what was said. Just this week, actually, I wrote to Mr. Michael Hayworth at the Department of Environmental Health, and I expressed to him how much I appreciated the garbage collectors, and that because of the change in collection times, we no longer are able to say hi to them or give them a glass of water. Maybe they already have their cold water, but it would be just so nice to just hand them a glass of cold water or a fruit from the garden. But since we don't have that, we're not able to do that now because of the times the garbage is collected early in the morning. I just want to express to them, and whoever can express to them for me, how much I appreciate them, and other people do too.
Will do.
With our borders reopening, it is so important. No, forget about our borders reopening. It is important for us living here to live in a clean society like we're used to living in.
And I think we do. I think it's quite a clean society compared to very many places I've been. I'm quite proud of how Cayman takes. We could do a better job, yes. Yeah. And we will be talking about that a little bit later on in the program today, actually. So that might interest you.
That the NICE program was on all year in order to keep the place cleaner than it is.
I feel the same. I feel the
so
same.
much.
Thank you for your call and for your thoughts. We appreciate it.
Bye-bye now.
Goodbye. And we have one more caller. We're going to take this last call before we got to go to the commercial break and then welcome our guests in. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Mom.
Where have you been? I've been on so many days and you haven't called.
I just busy working, and I just seeing what is going on in this country with this reopening. I think it is positive and negative in the same time. It is positive to see the economy come back, people, businesses here. And we understand that, we understand that reopening going to create more jobs. I know it is not for Caymanians, unfortunately, because, the head of the Tourism Association, the head manager of the Ritz-Carlton, he is talking about opening back the border, and he fighting to open the border, but in the same time, he is not employing Caymanians, which they have almost 1,000 people. We don't find 1% of those Caymanians. So it is very sad that all of these head of hotels, owners of hotels, they are fighting to open the border and to see tourists come, and we want to see that, yes, but we want to see you also, the hotels, change your behavior toward Caymanians. They are not getting the jobs they need. There is a lot of Caymanians out of job, and you should train those people. Are you just summertime when you're busy, you put some student for a month or 2 or 3, and that's it, and then you fire them, and you said, I employed Caymanian, and you fool in the Ministry of Labor, and you get in more work permit, and you bring in more people, and then what is the Caymanians' benefit from this reopening? That is my question today.
Well, can I ask you to definitely tune in on Friday, because we will be having him on the show in the later part of the afternoon from 1:30 to 2:30. So you can actually ask him that question directly if you call in on Friday afternoon.
Okay.
How does that sound?
And yes, sound good. And I think, today we want to see that there is more procedures for entering the country. We hear about this cruise ship coming soon, to first cruise ship, and we welcome that. We want to see tourists come. I am not against that. I don't want anybody to understand that I am against the tourists come to Cayman and we see businesses prosper and make money and more employment and all of that. But we need a serious procedures when it comes to COVID-19 issues. I know that the Mr. Lee doing a great job in that regard. I think the Minister of Health, she doing a great job in that regard. They are trying their best. I thank the Premier for doing his best for this country. But today I want to ask the leader of the opposition, stop pressuring government to do things before the right time. He is pressuring the government like he wants to run the country himself. It is not right.
That's what they do. That's what the opposition does. They challenge the government.
Yeah,
so
I understand.
He's completely in his right to do so.
Yeah, I know, I understand, but it is too much pressure now in government to reopen so early, and this COVID-19 issue is getting worse in Cayman. We have cases locally.
Yeah, I understand. We have to go to a quick commercial break, so I got to cut you here right now. I'm sorry, but I do ask you to definitely call in on Friday, as mentioned, and so you can get your question out that afternoon, okay? Thank you, sir. You too.
All right, bye.
All right, let's go to a commercial break, and then we'll be back with the National Gallery.
Freedom, Cayman Rack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab. Blood test, x-ray and mammogram, all of that is MedLab. Affordable fees and friendly service, a full professional team. MedLab is always comfortable, MedLab is always clean. For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Call 949-7331 and ask about MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
At Subway, we caramel a lot about our customers, so we decided to give you 2 treats in one with the new Caramel Apple Cookie. Enjoy cinnamon apples, caramel bits, and salted caramel crunch baked in, and topped with a drizzle of caramel-flavored icing. Gooey, crunchy, and yummy. Complete your Subway sandwich, pizza, or salad with the delicious Caramel Apple Cookie or any other cookie flavor and dessert, available for a limited time at all Subway locations. Subway, eat fresh.
You can now register online to receive a securely verified digital copy of your COVID-19 vaccination status with QR code through the MyHSA patient portal. Sign up is available online and at all HSA locations. All you need is your photo ID showing date of birth and an email address. Visit hsa.ky and click the MyHSA patient portal icon to get started.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
The technology sector is forecast to be one of the fastest growing industries in the next decade, with more jobs available than skilled people to fill them. Enterprise Cayman is helping to fill this void and grow the next generation of Caymanian innovators, giving young people access to high-quality learning experiences with the opportunity to pursue careers in technology and innovation sectors. Learn to code, how product development works, enter professional competitions, access high-tech resources, network with special economic zone industry professionals, and much, much more. Visit enterprisecayman.ky to find out more. Brought to you by Cayman Enterprise City.
Funky Tang's Black Friday sale is now on.
Mark said, if you snooze, you will lose out on some big savings.
That's right. If you snooze, you lose. So head on down to Funky Tang's and take 15% off laptops and LG TVs, as well as split unit, 24,000 BTU, 20% off Fire Sticks, 25% off soundbar systems and microwaves, 30% off rugs, comforters, and sheet sets, 10% off refrigerators. LG stereo systems marked down from $169.95 to $119.95. Panasonic music system was $244.95, now $198.95. Amazon 10-inch tablets now priced at $169.95, and the Samsung 8-inch tablet is a steal at $174.95. Sale is on at both Funky Tang's locations: Shen Road, telephone 949-0998, and Countryside Savannah 943-0998.
Listen to the general public.
Your thoughts are just a telephone call away. 1-800-534-8255.
What the public is saying.
Let your voice be heard. And now,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. I'm Kathy Miller, filling in this afternoon for Sterling Dwayne Ebanks. And on this segment of Talk Today, we are welcoming from the National Gallery, we have collections curator William Helfrecht and artist William Janjir Powery. I know you told me how to pronounce the name a few times, so every time I'm going to try to get it right. Definitely want to make sure I'm calling you by your correct name. So, gentlemen, welcome to Talk Today this afternoon. How are you doing?
Doing well, yeah. Thank you. Very happy to be here.
Excellent. So, I know you said that you were here on Monday, I believe, right? You were with OC on Monday. So, we're going to try to take the conversation in a slightly different direction, right? But we're still going to give people really the gist of what they need to know. Now, Janjir, I first saw your art at, I think it's the Monaco building. That's what the Monaco building during Cayman Art Week. And I was completely blown away by to me it was a sculpture. So I don't know I did art history for a little bit in school, but I'm going to get terms mixed up. So to me it was sculpture pieces. Yeah. And I absolutely could not believe how intricate it was, how something that it's so huge when you look at it, it could be a cargo ship, and how you were able to scale that down so small, but such delicate detailing. And it was just depicting scenes or things that you would normally see in Cayman. It was so unusual in the way you presented it, the way you created that art. And that was the number one thing that has stayed with me since Cayman Art Week. Although all the other art was great still, that was my favorite. So I'm very excited to meet you. It's an honor to meet you. You're absolutely so talented. So it's great to talk about your art on the show.
Yeah. I'm very excited with the show. It's finally can put some of the pieces together. Some of my collectors, they give me the opportunity. National Gallery borrow some of the pieces from them. Some of those pieces, they never been shown before, so that's going to be good for. And some of the few pieces I have at home I never showed before. I just, but I'm very happy with that. The show look amazing. I'm very excited with that.
I'm sure. Is this your first solo exhibition?
Well, my first solo exhibition at the National Gallery. Okay. So I've been working very hard to do something at the National Gallery. So finally, William and Natalie, they contact me. And we talked before about the idea, and finally we put everything together, and we have it now.
So what's the difference, Willie? Maybe you can tell me why showing at the National Gallery is a little bit more prestigious, might be the word to use, as opposed to smaller venues.
You're in the public eye, right? We're a public institution with the National Gallery, so he's in some illustrious company when he shows his work there, because obviously names that many of us are familiar with, Al Ebanks, Gordon Solomon, Bendel Hydes, Miss Lassie. It's kind of the National Collection is housed at the National Gallery, so it's a who's who of Caymanian art. And I think by showing his work in the company of those artists, it elevates Janjir's work, and I think he's very deserving of that, to be placed in that company. We're also a public institution, and with free admission, we're very accessible, and it really provides a platform or a stage, if you will, for members of the public, residents and visitors to see his work, which will be up for an extended period of time. So Janjir has had solo exhibitions previously in commercial galleries, and those are often more like pop-ups. As we saw with Cayman Art Week, you had this amazing sort of mix of art on display in more unconventional spaces, empty office buildings, or spaces that were repurposed specifically for Cayman Art Week to showcase local talent. Whereas the National Gallery, we're a permanent fixture, so we're always there. This exhibition, which opens tomorrow on the 25th of November, is going to be up all the way through till the 21st of January. So it gives people, a good few weeks to come and see Janjir's work, and maybe to come back and see it again, because oftentimes, his work, as you say, it really demands your attention, and I think it's worth coming and seeing again, and kind of revisiting and just exploring the whole kind of panorama of his work.
Okay. All right. So, Janjir, I want you to give me your background story, your journey to becoming an artist.
Well, I started very young. I think I started doing my first pieces when I was like 6 years old. I was selling in the radio. I was here before. My mom take me around. Sometimes I see the toys my mom can afford it. I just go home and building it with wood.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
okay.
So I always, that's how I grow up, trying to find solution for struggle, stuff like that. I trying to, I love that. I can have it. Okay, I building it.
So I'm going to interrupt you here, but was engineering ever a subject that you were interested in? Because art is very, very different.
Well, that's interesting because my mother used to work in a ceramic factory. So next to my mother's house. A carpenter, an old man, used to do all his furniture and stuff like that. So he always provide me tools, give me piece of wood for me to build whatever I want. So I always was around that thing, you know. But I always was very curious. I like to build things, you know. So yeah, that's why everything started.
Okay, interesting. We're going to go to a quick commercial break right now, and when we come back, we're going to hear more about Yanni's artistic journey and more about this exhibition at the National Gallery, which opens tomorrow.
Savannah Pharmacy. Shop local and get a head start on your Christmas shopping. For ladies' handbags, clothes, shoes, fragrance, candles, and cosmetics with the newest Farmhouse Fresh line of skincare. For the gentlemen, clothes, shoes, fragrances, gift sets, and toys and games for the kids. Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they are always just around the corner with everything your family needs. And convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
A friendly holiday reminder. You can WhatsApp your Savannah Pharmacy prescription to 929-5045. That's 929-5045.
You see how hard it's raining?
Yeah, and I don't have time to fight traffic and get my lunch from Subway. I have so much work to do.
Why don't you order Subway by using the Let's Eat or Bento app? Save time, stay dry, and get your sandwich fast.
I never thought of that. Great idea. I'm going to order now.
Order me a veggie pizza while you're at it.
And a cookie platter for the office.
Too busy at work or home? Is the rainy weather stopping you from dining out? Order your favorite Subway sandwich, wrap, or pizza through the Let's Eat or Bento app with fast and reliable delivery. Subway, eat fresh.
FedEx Delivery. Share this season with everyone by shipping your rum cakes and gifts with 30% off and get an additional 20% on your next shipment. Visit us. Restrictions apply.
Your chance to win the grand prize of $40,000, $4,000 second prize, 6 $1,000 prizes. Your chance to change your fortune is almost here. Your ticket, your chance, this Saturday, November 27th. The Rotary Central Music Extravaganza. Get your tickets now. Get your chance today. Rotary members, authorized ticket sellers, eventpro.ky, A.L. Thompson's Home Depot, Funky Tangs, Rubis Walkers Road, supermarkets across Cayman, Price Right, Rotarian Annie Rose in Cayman Brack, and more. Thank you for supporting your community through Rotary Central. Rotary Central Cayman Islands registered not-for-profit number 232. Rotary Central. Serve to change lives.
The Le Classique Black Friday sales event is on. That's right, Le Classique in the Strand Shopping Complex announces the jaw-dropping Black Friday sales event. Eye-popping deals on now. Every shoe, every bag, every backpack, every wallet is on sale at crazy Black Friday prices. The entire store is marked down 10 to 75% off.
Don't miss Le Classique's Black Friday sale this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Study local and go far this spring. Want to start your bachelor's or associate degree or just need a few classes to complete? Registration is now open for spring classes at UCCI. Scholarships are available for the spring semester, but you need to act now to meet the deadlines. Visit www.ucci.edu.ky to enroll now. Classes begin January 10th. Enroll by December 1st for a chance to win an iPad or a laptop.
I've got some beautiful clothes. I know just where they go. Good and cleaner.
Now is the time, and we are ready to help you with your household cleaning needs. And that is bedspreads, comforters, duvets, duvet covers, drapes, and so much more. All items at 10% off prepay, and turnaround time will be 2 to 3 days. Orders can be handled at all 3 stores: Elgin Avenue, Savannah Countryside, Eastern Avenue, drive-through, rain or shine. All stores close at 5:30 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Call 949-7104. Puritan Cleaners. You feel good when you look good.
Listen to the general public.
Your thoughts are just a telephone call away. 1-800-534-8255.
What the public is saying.
Let your voice be heard. And now,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. I'm Kathy Miller, and I have in studio with me this afternoon, we have William Helfrecht, who's the collections curator at the National Gallery, and artist Janjir Powery. And we were just talking about Janjir's exhibition that's opening at the National Gallery tomorrow, but he was giving us a bit of his background in his artistic upbringing in Cuba.
Yeah.
So the last you spoke about was your mom was in the ceramics factory, and there was a guy next door, a carpenter, who kept giving you little pieces of wood for you to just build whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
So how did you start getting into art more and studying art?
Well, when I was around 7, 8 years old, I still do some paintings. After that, when I start doing a sport, and then when I just finished the primary school, I went to the school to learn ballet. I was a dancer, so.
Did you want to do ballet?
I really like it, but I was more focused in the circus.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But, still you have to get ballet, and
right.
I have to dance and all of the things. So we do I call it the entrance.
Entrance exams, or?
Yeah, when you're trying to go to the bigger school in Havana.
Mm-hmm.
So but I never passed. That was a test, but it's okay. And then I just decided to start really take serious the painting, and then that's when I started in the Academy of Art in Isle of Pine with Redolan.
Okay. Now, was there a particular style or technique that you just adapted to, that you said right away, this is what I want to work on, and this is what I
remember when I was at that point to make a decision in my life, what I'm going to do. Okay, Now I know I'm not going to be a dancer. I'm not going to be in a circus school. I say, you know what, let me go back again to something I started when I was a child. And that's what I did. I went to the art school. First time starting the school, I went to my teacher, Villafaña Studio. So he teach me drawing, sculptures. So I was well prepared for that test. So I passed, and I was in the school as a very, very demanding a school, the tests, everything had to be very strict. So, yeah, but I learned a lot from there. I learned a lot of different techniques. I am so glad to have good teachers, very good teachers.
Do you have a favorite technique?
Ceramics,
yeah. Okay.
When I came to Cayman, I know how no clay. I don't know how to start, So I say, you know what? Let me start doing painting, and from there I'm gonna build make money, and then I can start doing some ceramic and the sculptures. I get the help of some friends who help me to get a ceramic kiln to fire my ceramic. From there, when I have everything in place, I say, you know what, it's time.
Okay.
So that's when I start doing all of this sculpture.
So around what age was that?
Yeah.
Around what age? How old were you?
When I was I started art school 17 years old.
Or that you moved to Cayman and
moved
you really
to Cayman,
started?
Yeah. I moved to Cayman 10 years ago.
Okay.
11 years ago, yeah.
So around 11 years ago, you really started with ceramics?
No, I learned ceramic in the school.
Okay.
So that was my favorite technique. So I explored more on ceramic in the school, and then I was a full-time artist in Cuba for many years. So I started in 2020. Learning art, so I moved to Cayman in 2010. So yeah, here what I just really did was improve more my skills,
right,
with ceramic. Yeah.
Now your style, in a press release that was written for your exhibition, your style was described as being influenced by European surrealism.
Yeah.
Could you describe what surrealism is?
Well, that's a very interesting question because I remember when I was in Cuba, I used to do a lot of surreal paintings and ceramic. And one of my friends came to me and said, Johnny, do you know that kind of what the style you do? And I'm telling, I don't know. I just feel to do this.
Mm-hmm.
That's coming from me. I don't know. He said, that's surrealist. So I said, really? Then I went to the library, started reading a lot about Salvador Dali, and that's the most famous one in surreal. Right. It's a lot of them, but it's very interesting. But I really not put too much focus on that. I just keep doing what I feel. I think that's very important. If you want to find a style or something like that, you have to look into yourself and then trying to express what you feel, or that's not the way I really do my art. Just trying to improve, I spend a lot of time working, and I think work and be consistent working is when you start finding new ways to do a piece or something like that. Yeah.
So I'm curious. Now, I like to write, and as a writer, often people talk about writer's block. You have no ideas coming out of your head. You have a deadline for something, but you can't write what you need to write. Mm-hmm. I've actually never had writer's block, so I don't know what that's like, thankfully. I hope I never get it. But is there something similar in art? Is there times where you know you have to produce, but you can't be forced to do that creative part? Well, you can't force creativity, right?
It's funny because for me to keep creative, I had to keep working. If I spend 1 week doing nothing, it's hard for me again to.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So momentum keeps you going.
Momentum, yes. I see something that really made me excited or something very interesting. Say, you know what, let me see if I can do that in ceramic, or it's hard for me when I spend 1 week doing nothing. Just to start again, I had to. It's like when you start the car room, and then when you're wrong, I can't stop. I have to work all day.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's
and that build a discipline too. It's very important to have discipline with your artwork. It's something I always say to my friends and people. Talk to me, and I say, you need to find a way to encourage yourself, because it's very important. It's part of the discipline. Sometimes you want to feel tired, you want to feel like but you have to push yourself to that, and then it's very important. Sometimes something's not going the way you want, but you have to keep pushing. Don't get discouraged. I always say that to my friend. Just don't get discouraged. And sometimes things happen the way you don't want it. You keep working, keep pushing.
Right. There's a quote about discipline.
Some doors gonna close, some doors gonna open. So
that's true. That's true.
Very important.
There is a quote about discipline that when motivation leaves you, discipline will carry you. So I completely understand that, and I agree with you on that. We have to go to our 1 p.m. news headlines right now, and after that, we will be back with National Gallery representatives and Janjir, and then we also have Maya Matu joining us to talk about the education programs at the National Gallery.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice. Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom. Today's biggest news.
Opening hours at some Grand Cayman post offices will be reduced from December 1st until further notice. Those post offices: Hell Post Office from 2 to 6 p.m., Northside Post Office 2 to 6 p.m., Boddentown Post Office 8 a.m. to 12 noon, and East End Post Office 8 a.m. to 12 noon. Officials say the reduced hours are necessary due to staff shortages, notably COVID-19 related. The changes are expected to be temporary. Turning to international news now, jury deliberations resumed for a second day Wednesday in the trial of the 3 white men charged with chasing and killing Ahmad Arbury, with jurors reviewing the cell phone video of the 25-year-old black man being blasted with a shotgun on a residential street in coastal Georgia. The jury sent a note to Superior Court Judge Timothy Walmsley soon after returning to court Wednesday morning, asking to view 2 versions of the shooting video, the original and the one that investigators enhanced to reduce shadows 3 times apiece. As Germany inches toward the mark of 100,000 deaths from COVID-19, the country's leader-in-waiting announced plans Wednesday to create an expert team at the heart of the next government to provide daily scientific advice on tackling the coronavirus pandemic. Olaf Scholz of the center-left Social Democrats announced the measure, along with the creation of a standing emergency committee at the start of the news conference, laying out the deal his party and 2 others have agreed to form a new government. Those are your latest headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom. I'm Shanda Gallego.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
Listen to the general public.
Your thoughts are just a telephone call away. 1-800-534-8255.
What the public is saying.
Let your voice be heard. And now,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. I'm Kathy Miller, filling in for Sterling Dwayne Ebanks. And we have in studio with us from the National Gallery, we have Maya Matu, who's just joined us. We have William Helfrecht, who's the collection's curator. And we also have the artist, Janjir Powery. And we were talking about Janjir's educational background with art, how he got into ceramics. And I think we just ended on when you came to the Cayman Islands and really started working on ceramic work here, right? Now, we have this exhibition coming up, and as William has said, it does open tomorrow. Unstoppable Steps. Is that what okay, that's what the exhibition is called, Unstoppable Steps. And I want to know, with this exhibition, how did it happen? How did it come about? I know you said that you've been in talks with them a little bit, but for this moment to happen to you, what was the catalyst to make it happen?
Well, I think to me, I really want to, when we finally get the days and when we're going to do a show, to me it was very important to show gratitude, because I think the Cayman Island welcomed me very well. So I think I had to show some gratitude, and I really love and enjoy the art in the Cayman Island. And I think feeling part of that, I think for me it's very important to come to a place, different culture and things like that. And I just very happy for the support and all of the stuff that's happened to me at this point, And I think this show just to tribute the pioneers' art, like Bendel and Miss Lassie. It's more like it's something very personal. It's something I really want to show that gratitude and for all of the good things happen to me. It's got very emotional every time I thought that, because the show is so important for me.
Right.
I think this is going to be a new era as an artist for me, because it's going to open the door. I have doors open, but I think it's going to be more open, because I really want to do things overseas and being part of this island. Mm-hmm. I think for me,
it's going to happen for you.
Yeah.
Hopefully this is very.
I really getting. I get a little emotional with that, because I've been working very hard and I've been doing so many things, and I have so much thing to be grateful.
Yeah, we all do.
Just get a little stuck. I don't know how to. I have no word to say.
You express it through your art.
Yeah,
and I think we can see that. So, from what I told you when I first saw your art pieces at the Monaco building, and I was completely blown away by what you do. And I'm looking around to be like, is this artist around? But I wouldn't even know who to look for at that point. So I am grateful to have met you and to hear about your journey and how you're creating your art. So when it comes to doing a solo exhibition, what are some of the things that inspired you to create these particular pieces for this show?
Well, it's sometimes I come with an idea or do something, and sometimes that idea give birth another idea, and that's how I really work. It's like those sculptures, the soja crab. I come with the idea. I used to collect the soja crab from my father-in-law. He's a fisherman. So one time I see that soja crab climbing the rock. I said, that's a nice picture. Let me see if I can do that. And I started doing it in painting before. And then you say, I'm going to do it now in a sculpture, and that turned like a beautiful piece. And with each one of particular pieces, it's the same thing. With the astronaut, that was the same idea, let me build, because I really love Elon Musk, rockets and Tesla and all of the things. So, what, let me build something ceramic, a little challenge. I want to make that astronaut look like it's floating. And it take me a couple of months to finish the piece, but, I really love it.
You have a couple more futuristic-looking pieces like that one, the
innovator,
the astronaut, the innovator.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But the soldier crab one that you're talking about, that is very Cayman, and it's such an interesting piece of work. So you'll see something, or you might take a picture of it, and then you'll paint it first, and then you'll work to creating the ceramics, the sculpture for it. Wow, I love it. I love that. Now, William, you might be able to answer this question here. there's a lot of work involved in putting on a solo exhibition, right? For you, from your standpoint, what are the details of a solo exhibition that you think about that normally perhaps the artist wouldn't consider?
Well, our team at the National Gallery, we kind of think of asking ourselves at the outset of a project like this, what is the story we're trying to tell? Because an exhibition is really about a story. It's about, you can present work in different ways, but I think when you have a body of work like this, you're trying to tie the pieces together and present something coherent, but also something emotive, something that speaks to people, giving a kind of clear rationale for what makes these works special. How do they speak to one another, and how does this group of work come together to make an exhibition? And that's where we come in. So our job is really thinking through these various thought processes about, okay, we'll speak to the artist. We'll start the story with the artist, because the artist is kind of the star of the show, or the originating point for where this work came from. And then certain sort of themes will emerge. So in the case of Janjir's work, you've already touched on that, and it was very evident from us that there was this deep, deep tie to his birthplace on the Isle of Pines, but also a kind of broader story of the kind of passages and the connections that have linked historically Cuba and Cayman. So he's telling a personal, familial story, but it's also a story that a lot of people can identify with, and it's about speaking to this cultural experience that's inherently Caymanian, but also has this real resonance with a lot of Cubans, especially the Isle of Pines, obviously, which has these historical connections with Cayman. And then the iconography of these works, they're really iconic. He's got sculptures of Cayman blue iguanas, of course, the soldier crab. These other, I guess, symbols of our national identity that are also that are very familiar. And as we've said, with this style that he works in, he's taking these very, very familiar objects that we've all encountered, we've all seen, and then he, through his art, I guess there's this sort of process of how do you describe it? It's he takes his imagination and kind of runs with it. So a lot of these objects, we've got turtles or tortoises that are sort of giant-sized, or as you've said, the soldier crab is sort of impossibly large with this little figure perched on top of it. So he plays with scale in interesting ways. He plays with color, because obviously we're talking about ceramic here, but Janjir is an artist who's very adept at using glazes. So there's actually a lot of color in these works. And it's really an opportunity for him to express himself. And our job, I suppose, is to provide him a platform for doing that and to make it accessible, which is where someone like my colleague Maya comes in. We're always thinking about audience. It's not a project for us or for the artist necessarily. It's really about, how do we think this will appeal to our audiences, and how can we present this work in a way that makes it accessible and fun as well, and inviting, something that people are going to want to come and see.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Is there? Do you choose all the pieces, or is this a collective collaboration between the two of you, or maybe more on a team that does so?
I think when all of the pieces I show to the National Gallery, they love it. I say, I want all. So.
Okay.
It's not always that easy. There's
okay.
we have a team, right? So even within the National Gallery, we've got 4 different curators, including our director, Natalie. And we differ sometimes in our opinions, but in this case, as I said, it was such a strong body of work. And part of that, I think, is that, as we know, last year during lockdown, artists had a lot of time on their hands to work. And that was one of the few kind of blessings to come out of that experience was, Janjir was talking about his creative process and how he has this sort of almost obsessive need to work, right, to create. And I think he was so prolific that he'd produced this body of work, and in its entirety, these works just naturally, although they're very eclectic, very different, they fit together so beautifully in the context of this exhibition.
They absolutely do.
Yeah.
So you don't have to really stay on his back to make sure he gets all the pieces into you on time to be ready for the show.
He was very organized. He's a bit self-deprecating sometimes. He's an artist. He's a real pleasure to work with. He also has a varied background. You know, he's worked, I think, in a commercial capacity as well, and you can really see this. What we saw with Cayman Art Week this year is a lot of our local artists, we're really starting to see that professionalization. So artists who have websites, who have Instagram pages, you know, that they're using in a professional capacity, and have those marketing tools to be able to promote their work and also get their work out there, get that visibility which artists need if they're going to build a market. And the National Gallery actually has been running for several years programs such as our Business of Art series, which I think Maya can talk to a little bit more, but initiatives that are really aimed at helping supporting local artists and supporting them in this career of being a professional artist.
Okay, excellent. Now, there's a line in the press release that was issued about your exhibition. And this line, it's a quote from you, and it says, "My motivation derives from the responsibility an artist carries towards society, which fuels my continual urge to create." What do you believe artists are responsible for in society?
Well, we take a big part in society because, number one, through our art, we express the time we live. That's very important. I always use the example when you read or when you see a sculpture from 100 years ago, there was artists.
Absolutely.
So from that you can see how important artists are. It's the same thing with buildings, poetry, books, sculptures, mural. I think this time is important for artists because you have to show the time you live, where you come from. I think that being an artist is a responsibility with the society.
It is.
You know?
It is responsibility, and as a patron of the arts, because I'm no artist, but as a patron of the arts, it's so important. And I was away recently. I went to the UK for a couple of weeks, and I went to the Tate Modern, and I got to see an exhibition that's been sold out since March, but somehow I fandangled myself and I got in. It's called the Infinity Mirror Room. And I can't even express how that just blew my mind again, but how it just really opened my mind. And it's about a month later, and I'm still thinking about what that artist was saying in why she created these rooms. And for me to still be thinking about this a month later and having ideas come to me, I'm very thankful to be able to have experienced that exhibition that's been sold out till next year. Yeah. That's one thing, but it was incredible the effect that the art did have on me. So I absolutely agree with you. There is we're not depending on you in that sense, but we're thankful for you being able to express what is going on.
I have friends, they always live in the States and, you know, those big cities there, and they say, Johnny, when I see your work, I can see you coming from one island to another island.
Interesting.
You know, I feel good. That's something come natural from me, you know. It's nothing like I'm looking for something to show the island. I just trying to share with people how I feel, what I think, what really inspired me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad I'm an artist, because when I moved to Cayman, I had no English background, nothing. I say, you know what, I just gonna communicate with people through my art, and I think it's working perfectly.
Excellent. Well, we're gonna go to a commercial break, but when we come back, I want to hear about the differences really between art in Cuba and art in Cayman, and what you're inspired by locally with artists here in Cayman as well. And we're going to go to a commercial break, and we'll be back.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette, brought to you by the Ministry of Tourism and Transport. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
James Nathaniel Tibbetts, J.P., 1886 to 1967. Mr. Nat Tibbetts was a renowned shipbuilder, businessman, justice of the peace, and citizen of Cayman. He was loved and respected throughout the island and was often consulted by people facing crucial decisions and difficulties. With his father, James Tibbetts, and his brothers, Burdett and Ross, he built and sold 11 sailing ships during the early 1900s. After losing his right arm in his mid-40s due to fish bristle infection and the death of his brothers, Mr. Knott operated a store and pioneered in the production of soft drinks, supplying all 3 Cayman Islands for almost 25 years. His plantations provided employment for others and provisions for his and his brother's family. Mr. Knott was a role model for his sons and other young men of the community, teaching them, along with the principles of carpentry, boat building, navigation, and seamanship, a good work ethic and the value of respect and perseverance. He and his beloved wife, Elsie Nee Hunter, with whom he had 7 children, set high standards for their family by emphasizing a Christian lifestyle.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of Tourism and Transport. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab.
For a full range of medical services, pleasant, clean and comfortable environment, no long lines and affordable fees, visit MedLab at the Smith Road Plaza. Open Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and half day on Saturdays. Call 949-7331 to make your appointment.
For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Ask our professional team about the benefits of cutting-edge technology with MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
Kirk Freeport's Black Friday is back with out-of-this-world deals on watches, jewelry, perfumes, cosmetics, and more. Kirk Freeport Black Friday deals are available from Thursday 25th to Monday 29th of November with unbeatable discounts from Swarovski, Mikimoto, Roberta Coin, Hearts on Fire, Paco Rabanne, Jimmy Choo, Boss, Versace, and many more. All our jewelry and watches will be in Kirk Freeport on Cardinal Avenue. Perfume deals will be available at La Parfumerie and Strand locations. And check out great deals in Caraloha on Cardinal Avenue too. KirkFreeport.com for full details.
This is an extraordinary Black Friday at Tomlinson Furniture in the Mattress Gallery. 2 days only, Friday the 26th and Saturday the 27th of November. Huge savings on everything in stock, up to 40% off. This is the largest sale of the year. The perfect time to replace your mattress. The perfect time to buy your bedroom sets, sofas, and anything you need for the home. This is where you get the best deals in town. So get ready for Christmas, Friday the 26th and Saturday the 27th of November. You have to hurry. It is while supplies last. Tomlinson Building on Walker's Road.
Listen to the general public.
Your thoughts are just a telephone call away. 1-800-534-8255.
What the public is saying.
Let your voice be heard. And now,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. I'm Kathy Miller, and I have in studio with me this afternoon from the National Gallery, my Matu, William Helfrecht, William, and Janjir Powery. And we are discussing Janjir's upcoming exhibition. Well, it opens tomorrow, really, so upcoming is really tomorrow. And it's going to be for about 2 months, around the end of January, you said would be the end date for this.
21st of January.
21st of January. So we have a good 2 months for people to go and check this out. It's called Unstoppable Steps. And we know you're from Cuba. And you moved here at about, I think you said 10 years ago. 10 years ago, right? So...
Well, 11, exactly. I came in 2010.
Okay.
11.
Yeah. Is there major differences in art styles between Cuba and Cayman?
Yeah, absolutely. When I used to do different work when I was in Cuba. So when I moved to Cayman, it took me like 3 years to figure out how to add all of my experience. I was more focused to represent more the culture and the life in the Cayman Island. It took me like 3 years because different culture. We are here. We are more close to nature. Yeah.
Here we're closer to nature?
No, like the sea.
Oh, okay. The proximity.
The proximity. Yeah,
gotcha,
that's what I mean. Yeah. So. I think that I have a big impact in the way I do my work right now.
Okay. And do you have favorite artists from Cayman?
Yeah, has a few. Yeah.
Are we allowed to say their names, or do you think the other ones? Why didn't you mention me?
Well, there's Miss Lassie. I love her work. Bendel. I was very impressed when I see his work. The first time I see his work, I say, "Wow, this man is the boss." So,
all right.
I have another favorite artist like Arbury. It's really good artist. Arbury, I really love her work. Jason Kennedy.
Yes.
It's really good work. It's a lot of good artists. I really know because it's almost them. It's all good. I know your favorite artist too. So, well, I say the one I really like.
Okay.
They are work, they are style.
All right.
Yeah, it's a lot. Al Evans too.
Yeah.
I really.
Yeah, that's a favorite of mine as well.
Yeah.
So your pieces that are going to be shown from tomorrow in the National Gallery.
And Nazaria, I really love Nazaria art. Very strong. I really like that.
Yes. Yeah. Can we view these on the website, the National Gallery website?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Okay. So for people to get a little idea, but you have to see these in person.
You have to see them in person. But I think we've sort of made big strides really with thinking about how museums exist or what the role of our institution is in today's day and age, right? And that really includes the digital space. So we're open Monday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. as usual. But some people might be inclined, to come and see our website. We've got all the safety protocols in place that we're adhering to make sure everyone has a safe and enjoyable visit. But at the same time, there's been a kind of move across the museum world to really recognize the importance of making the museum accessible, and not just in terms of visitor accessibility and in terms of provisions for people with different needs to come into our space, but also making content available digitally. We have an international following. There's a lot of Caymanians overseas as well who are interested in keeping up with what's going on here in the arts. So with that in mind, I think from last year through to today, we've put a lot of effort into rethinking our website, the role of the website, and so each exhibition lives both physically within our space and then has this digital presence through our website. So that includes installation photographs of the exhibition, the individual artworks themselves, and then in several cases as well, we've filmed 3D virtual tours of our exhibitions. So you can actually kind of it doesn't quite replicate the real thing, but I think it's very close to it, and it gives you that immersive experience of what it feels like to be inside the exhibition. You can actually toggle around and move through the space. People are probably familiar with this technology from things like real estate videos and other kind of platforms where that technology is used, like Google Street View. Right. But in a museum context, it's actually been very liberating to be able to it's always sad when an exhibition comes down, and I think to give it that digital presence, both for posterity, so the archiving of our exhibitions, so that we've got this archive of Caymanian culture that will live on the website and people can revisit. So that's something we're definitely going to be doing with this show as well, making sure people can experience it, whether they're here or whether they're overseas.
I love that. That's excellent. I love that you can archive it. And yes, we have very much moved to a digital space. And National Gallery has done an excellent job in that digital transformation. But we really encourage people to come check out Janjir's ceramics in person. Can you also buy the pieces if interested? Because honestly, I really think people should be buying these. This is like a collector's item and one of a kind. It's amazing.
Well, this is an example of the National Gallery being a non-profit, of course, being a statutory authority. We're not really involved in the buying and selling of work. That's not our remit.
Okay.
But I think by giving artists a platform to show their work, they will benefit from having that platform, right? So Janjir has work that we've borrowed from collectors, and that's on loan. So obviously those pieces are not for sale. But it's a conversation that can be had directly one-on-one with the artist, because artists are obviously trying to make a living like everyone else, and Janjir has works that are for sale, and that's something that he is going to be overseeing. So there'll be definitely opportunities if you want to get in touch with Janjir and talk about his work. He's also very happy to talk about his work and kind of share the story behind it. So it's not really such a transactional relationship. It's really, when he talks about collectors, these are people who've followed his work and have a kind of interest in his career, and he is very generous with his time and also with kind of building relationships with collectors that are not just really based on buying and selling his work, but more about kind of sharing that understanding of his practice with people who are interested in the arts.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you for explaining.
Yeah.
So if people are interested, talk to Janjir one-on-one. Right. All right, Maya. I know you're here to give us some information about the programs going at the National Gallery as well. So fill us in.
Sure, yeah. So for every exhibition that we do, we create an exhibition program that goes along with that. That is really about extending the conversation outside of just the physical exhibition space. So, of course, the curating of the show and the pieces themselves tell this incredible story, and the education component takes it a step further, just to kind of bring in people's personal thoughts on the work, talk about their personal stories and how they connect with the work, and then, of course, to share broader conversations from the museum world as well. So with this show, we have a couple things slated, and in the break, we were chatting with Janjir, and I think there might be some more things coming along too. But we're looking at doing some lunchtime tours. So one of those we definitely have on the 1st of December at 12:30, and that's a great opportunity. You don't need to book, to just drop into the gallery, tour the show that's on in the larger hall, which is Terra Botanica, and then to tour Janjir's show as well with the curators, and just to kind of get a more in-depth look at each of the pieces and at the show as a whole, hear about sort of the curatorial side of it as well. We also have a tour with Janjir himself. So as Will said, he's very happy to have these conversations with people and build connections. And it's a great opportunity to meet the artist himself and talk about that process of creating this work and just his kind of artistic process in general. We're also looking at doing some ceramics workshops as well, so that people can see firsthand what it's like to work with this medium, because I have done a few ceramics classes myself and it can be very challenging. So it just goes to show you, what an incredible skill you need to create the amazingly intricate work that Janjir has created.
Is the artist himself leading these ceramic workshops by any chance, or just curious?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
It's going to happen, yeah.
All right. Might be a special appearance, might be leading it, we'll see.
Yeah, I really want to do that, and I'm looking forward to do that with kids too.
Oh, okay, excellent.
Yeah. And at the moment, we, just given some of the circumstances around the world right now, we haven't been able to have a lot of kids in the space at the moment, but we are doing virtual tours. Okay. So even if you are, a school group that would normally come in for a physical tour, we can host that virtually. So we can jump on a call or a Zoom call or whatever it is with a school group or even with a small family group and show you around the exhibition. So we have lots of different capabilities now, as Will said, digitally, where we can make everything accessible to people, even if you can't physically come to us in person.
Awesome. And as Will said, the exhibitions will be archived. And does that mean, I guess, part of the educational components, will that somehow be involved in the archiving with each exhibition?
Definitely, okay. Yeah. So one of the other things we are doing is we're going to film an interview with Janjir, and that will live on our website forever.
Great.
So that you can really have an in-depth conversation about some of the things we've talked about today, and then delving deeper into some of the work as well. So that will be kind of a virtual artist talk with him. And then, as I mentioned, we do this for all exhibitions. So whatever education components we have, there's always a digital part to that. So we have tons of resources available online that are, everything from written lesson plans to interviews with artists, them talking about specific work and how they made it, art workshops. There's a ton of stuff on our website. So if you go on there, it's nationalgallery.org.ky. You can find a real wealth of educational materials, whether you are a parent looking for things for your child to do after school, or a teacher looking for ways to connect art with your curriculum, or if you're just, an average adult who wants to connect more with the visual arts in Cayman or with culture.
I absolutely agree with that. I think people should do it. And I mentioned earlier, I think the National Gallery has done an amazing job with the digital transformation. A lot of businesses still have to go through, pandemic or not. So the fact that you were able to bring something that we like to experience, art, so much in person, it's also a very personal experience. So to be able to move it from a room, a gallery, online gives people the opportunity to at least still experience it and connect still. And you heard me say how important it was for me to just free my mind up with visiting some galleries. So I absolutely encourage people to come check out Janjir's exhibition. It begins tomorrow at the National Gallery. It's called Unstoppable Steps. And it'll be going through to January 21st. All right. Thanks for joining us on Talk Today this afternoon.
Thank you, dude.
Any last words you want to share with our listeners?
I just want to invite everybody to come tomorrow to the show at the National Gallery. I want to give thanks to the National Gallery. They did an amazing job. I'm very happy with that. Everybody's welcome. So.
Awesome. Okay, great. Thank you. And we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and then after our commercial break, joining us will be Honorable J. Ebanks, Minister for Planning, Agriculture, Housing and Infrastructure, and Leda Nicholson Makasari, Acting Chief Officer in PAHI.
Are you planning a social, an office party, or event over the holiday season? Make the most of your holiday party and leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway Box to Go, with the option of a 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips. Cater your holiday parties with Subway. Visit subway.ky for menu options. Subway, eat fresh.
We may be in Christmas shopping mode, but 'tis the flu season too. Savannah Pharmacy has immune system boosters for the entire family with a range of vitamins and supplements. Their knowledgeable and courteous pharmacists are always available to offer the best advice and products. Remember, they are always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
A friendly holiday reminder. You can WhatsApp your Savannah Pharmacy prescription to 929-5045. That's 929-5045.
Had a look at those investment options yet? Too busy. Look at today. Workout, breakfast, take the kids to school, back-to-back meetings, take Pepper to the vet, and she's apparently got allergies now, so... And that was all before 12. But you look relaxed.
That's because my money's as busy as you.
With RF, you can access the best in local and international investments to keep your money busy, so you can spend more time focusing on you. Contact us at rfgroup.com to find out more. RF, money at work.
20 years.
Remember when Crew Road had no median and Linford Pearson was only 2 lanes?
We do.
When Dirty Reeds was down the street?
We do.
We have been there for the falls, the growth, and the rise. When your body and mind needed to change, Powerhouse Gym has been here. We've skated with you. Your first date, your daughter's first time on skates, your son's first strike. From football to squash, to karate and hockey, to bowling and concerts, and everything in between.
For 20 years,
so much has changed, some for the good and some not so much. Through it all, King Sports Center has been here for you, for Cayman.
King Sports Center, celebrating 20 years as Cayman's home for fitness, recreation, and relaxation.
The technology sector is forecast to be one of the fastest growing industries in the next decade, with more jobs available than skilled people to fill them. Enterprise Cayman is helping to fill this void and grow the next generation of Caymanian innovators, giving young people access to high-quality learning experiences with the opportunity to pursue careers in technology and innovation sectors. Learn to code, how product development works, enter professional competitions, access high-tech resources, network with special economic zone industry professionals, and much, much more. Visit Visit enterprisecayman.ky to find out more. Brought to you by Cayman Enterprise City.
Hot Zone Sports. One day Black Friday sale. Friday, November 26th. 2 locations. Cannon Place Industrial Park and Lamar Village in West Bay. All items in US dollar. Reebok, Jordans, Adidas, Nike, Puma. Get in quick and get the hottest sports deals. Look hot. Feel hot. Hot Zone Sports. One day. Only US dollar sale. Friday, November 26th. Cannon Place Industrial Park and Lamar Village in West Bay.
If you've recently gone into isolation and need assistance with urgent supplies, help is near.
You can call the Isolation Support Line Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. or Saturdays between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. 1-800-534-3530 or 946-3530 or email isolationsupport@gov.ky. Please remember to monitor for symptoms of fever and cough. If they get worse, contact the flu hotline at 1-800-534-8600 or email flu@hsa.ky. If you have difficulty breathing, call 911.
For more tips, visit www.gov.ky/coronavirus.
Listen to the general public.
Your thoughts are just a telephone call away. 1-800-534-8255.
What the public is saying.
Let your voice be heard. And now,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. I'm Kathy Miller, filling in for Sterling Dwayne Ebanks. And in the second segment of Talk Today, we are welcoming from the Ministry of Planning, Agriculture, Housing and Infrastructure, PAHI, that's just what I'm going to say going forward. We have Honourable Minister J. Ebanks, and we have Acting Chief Officer Leda Nicholson Makasari. All right. Good afternoon. How are you both doing?
Good afternoon, Kathy. Thanks for having us.
It's good to have you. We are talking about the NICE project. Correct. This started in 2015?
Yeah, roughly about 2015 it started. Yeah.
All right. So, which one would like to tell us a little bit more about it?
Well, I'll start off with it, Kathy. First, thank you for having us here. I want to thank the Cayman Islands for giving us the opportunity to come out here and talk with them today about this NICE program. Just want to say a special hello to my people out there in Northside that are listening. Just let you all know that we're out here working hard for you all out here. But we wanted to talk about the NICE program because we know this is coming up, and we wanted to make sure that everybody knows that it's coming up there. A lot of people have been asking about it. The kickoff of this program will start off of the 1st of December as a registration, going through to the 20th. The cutoff of the registration will be at the 6th, and the finishing of it will be on the 23rd. So the program will be for 2 weeks, basically. Our government believes that it is important for the to continue this project, and even at this time, going through this pandemic that we have. One of the things with this program is that once we get going and get it registered up, as we're trying to put the groups in small groups so that we can try to control the COVID outbreak that we have going around. So those that are registered in the date and the starting date will have to do a flow test, and then they would have to do maybe one throughout the week as they go along. And what we'll try to do is break the groups down into groups of 5s, small as we can, so that to eliminate the risks in big crowds.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And this project, it's a beautification project in a sense. We're cleaning up designated areas of Cayman, chosen areas, make it a little cleaner, make it look a little nicer, especially with the holidays, Christmas holidays coming up. And as I've come to learn, part of Caymanian Christmas tradition is just getting your yard completely ready and your house just prepped for Christmas. Right. I'm not so used to that, so that was a very interesting, we'll decorate, but it's a different element in the Cayman Islands.
Right. So we, from NICE, will be taking care of the public places,
and we're going to rely on you, Kathy, and the rest of the residents to take care of their homes so we can make Cayman beautiful, since that we're having and welcoming our people back on island. So that's all the whole initiative, to beautify Cayman once again.
How do you pick the areas that need to be cleaned up?
Well, Kathy, we have a list of areas that we've always looked at of cleaning up. A lot of those are the beach accesses, the public beaches, the sides of our roads. Anywhere, I mean, I think the NICE program actually comes right in the perfect timing of tourism just opening back up to the country. It's about just going back out there and getting the place ready for that opening now. So the choices that they've made before is basically off of mostly where we would see a lot of people gather in areas, or the tourists would use those areas and try to keep those beautified as best as we can.
Okay. Who's eligible to sign up for this program?
Okay, so as Minister indicated, the registration date is on December 1st, and that will take place between 9 and 12 p.m. And it's at various places throughout the district. So in East End, it's at the East End Civic Center, Northside Civic Center, in Bodden Town at Webster Memorial United Church, at Savannah Baptist Church Hall, Pedro, and Georgetown is the Georgetown Public Library, and in West Bay Church of Christ, Batabano Road. Any unemployed Caymanians over the age of 18 and unemployed spouses of the Caymanians with right to work are eligible for the program.
Okay. Is anybody not eligible? Like, are there ever people that you would turn away from wanting to participate in this project?
Well, if you're a non-Caymanian and you don't fall into that category, then unfortunately we would have to turn you away. But we try to, those that qualify, we try to register everybody that registers. Yeah,
that shows interest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I know that you said that you're going to be relying on residents like myself to take care of my yard and my house and the outer exterior there. But is there ever a time where you make an exception? So it's not just perhaps the public areas that people are gathering in, but is there ever maybe some elderly people that have lost the capability to take care of their land?
That is correct, Kathy. In previous NICE cleanups, we have looked at where if there's someone elderly that can't keep their yard cleaned up and we go in to try to help them, we do look at areas in that area.
And with this program, it's a government initiative, so we partner with lots of government agencies. So in those cases, we would partner with NAU, we would partner with the Children and Family Services that would guide us as to who those persons are within our community that are less fortunate or unable to do so, and we would partner with them and definitely assist.
Oh, that's perfect. And you read my mind, because I was just going to ask, is there any partnerships involved, or is this just strictly from the ministry planning and figuring out all the details?
But no, we are one government, and we involve a number of our agencies, NRA, PWD, and if I start listing, I'm going to forget one or two, but okay. DH, Work, MRCU, the Agriculture Society, Department of Agriculture. We have, it's cross-section, and I've mentioned NAU and Children and Family Services, so we all work together to get this initiative and to beautify the island.
Right, especially NAU being extremely overwhelmed in these past 2 years with assisting people, those who may have lost their jobs during the pandemic. We know, at least in tourism, there's over 3,000 Caymanians that are in that unfortunate circumstance right now, and thankfully with the border reopening, things will start to get better for them. But a project like this, what has it done to the people who have already participated in this and have been able to have a little bit of extra cash? How have they expressed what a difference this project has made in their life? Have they expressed how it's helped them?
I think, Minister, I can turn that over to him, because he probably knows all his constituents and the rest of the public that speaks to him more so than me, that are very grateful for this opportunity. And as he said in the beginning, he was getting asked about the program even before. So they're very appreciative of the program.
I think a lot of the Caymanians that are involved and come into this project is very appreciative of it. And you would say some people may say, well, we could do things a lot different, but until you actually sit in those people's feet and know what they go through and the struggles that they go through, and to see what that dollar means to them during the Christmas time, then you would say something different. I have to say that one thing out of this program, it actually gives us the opportunity to be able to see those people that we can help push forward, that can maybe grasp the opportunity to come in to work with the government also in different departments. Because
have you seen that?
We would end up having people that are working certain departments, and departments would say, wow, he was great, they were great, and we would love to have people like them going on, so they would take them on into a longer role job with them.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's
We've definitely seen that. As a part of the program as well, everybody that participates in the program, they get an evaluation at the end of the program. So you get a grading. And we have seen that when people are, building their resumes, their CV, they actually include that letter showing their grading. So Minister is correct. We have a number, at least, we have number of 3 or so at Public Works that actually got full-time employment because of their dedication, and we saw that during the program. So, and they get jobs throughout, but I can just use that as an example.
It's a wonderful example, because no matter for people who might be out there thinking it's not long-term enough, it's not going to be enough for me, I'm going to keep looking so I have a more steadier job or income. This could be that step to the steadier job. As you said, there's about 4 people employed at Public Works. So it's a great opportunity. And if you are a Caymanian that is unemployed, that fits the criteria that I believe, if you could give that criteria one more time, Ms. Lita.
Okay, eligible workers are unemployed Caymanians over the age of 18, are unemployed spouses of Caymanians with the right to work.
Okay, so if you fall in this category and you're looking for some extra boost during the holiday season, absolutely apply for the NICE project. And we know that the deadline for application is Wednesday, December 1st.
Right.
But I believe you did say from 9 to 12 p.m. on that day.
Okay, but that's only for the newcomers.
Okay.
So if you're a returning worker, there's a different process. So if you're returning applicants, would WhatsApp their returning information to 917-0153 or email it to ncep@gov.ky, or they can drop it off at the NICE drop box at work.
Okay, that's for returning applicants.
That's for the returning applicants. And then the new applicants, if you have never participated in the program before, and this is your first time, we're asking for you to register at those locations that I read out prior at each district, and that is on December 1st from 9 to 12.
Okay. Now, for anybody that might have heard us, that's not taking this information down, can they find it online?
Yes, they can find it online at the government website. And we're doing a number of releases as well. So I think most of the media houses have carried the press release already with these details. And we will continue to flood the media gates with the information so that between now and December 1st, persons have sufficient medium to be able to apply.
Do you have any idea how many people have gone through this program? I want to say since inception, but I don't know if you'll have those figures from 2015 or so. But
2020, there was 742 people went through that program.
Wow.
2019, it was 672.
Okay. So a little bit more in 2020, when understandably we can understand that why. So we're hoping to have at least the same amount. Do you know what your numbers are so far, approximately?
I don't have that count right now.
That's all right. No worries. But we know people are interested already because they've been, the returning applicants at least definitely are applying.
Just to let everybody else know too out there that they actually can go to their MPs to get a copy of this registration form. All registration forms has been emailed out to them. And to my people in Northside, they can go to the Civic Center. There's someone there every day, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. And they can sit down, they'll help you fill out the forms, and they'll actually scan them in for you, for my people in Northside.
Okay, excellent. Anything else you want our listeners to know about this NICE project? We did cover the details.
I think we covered the details.
Just about everything.
Big time, yes.
And like you said, it's an opportunity to prove oneself every day for us all. there's an opportunity, it's an interview. So good luck to those, and we expect those to come out that are willing to work for their country with that country pride, Cayman pride, at the most to help us beautify Cayman.
Absolutely. We all live here. We all need to do our part to take care of Cayman. And if you need that extra boost income during Christmas, something to help you get by, even just to put food on the table, maybe a gift for your children, you have this nice project that you can partake in. So I definitely encourage people to be involved with this, because we have opened up. We're looking to get Cayman back on track, and we need the efforts of everybody to do so in that sense. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
And we want to thank all our partners. And, of course, we want to thank the government for continuing this initiative and putting the necessary funds behind this program for us to continue it.
You hit a big word there, funds. So how is this just fully funded by government?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. All right. Is there any possibility in the future to partner with maybe the private sector as well, and to make this, perhaps it happens twice a year, as I understand, right, in the summer as well, but to make this possibly a more than happening twice, it could be quarterly or even monthly. Is there any
Absolutely.
idea?
The door is always open for private partnership deals.
All right. So we hear if you want to help take care of the country that you live in, that you're prospering in, definitely get in touch with the Ministry of Planning, Agriculture, Housing and Infrastructure, PAHI, and the National Community Enhancement Project, which kicks off from the 6th to the 23rd of December. If you see the people out there working, definitely give them your thanks and your gratitude, and wish them a very Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season. Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you. Stay safe.
Savannah Pharmacy. Shop local and get a head start on your Christmas shopping. For ladies' handbags, clothes, shoes, fragrance, candles, and cosmetics with the newest Farmhouse Fresh line of skincare. For the gentlemen, clothes, shoes, fragrances, gift sets, and toys and games for the kids. Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they are always just around the corner with everything your family needs. And convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
A friendly holiday reminder. You can WhatsApp your Savannah Pharmacy prescription to 929-5045. That's 929-5045.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab.
For a full range of medical services, pleasant, clean and comfortable environment, no long lines and affordable fees, visit MedLab at the Smith Road Plaza. Open Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and half day on Saturdays. Call 949-7331 to make your appointment.
For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Ask our professional team about the benefits of cutting-edge technology with MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands. The ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom. The land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your sister islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Kirk Freeport's Black Friday is back with out-of-this-world deals on watches, jewelry, perfumes, cosmetics, and more. Kirk Freeport Black Friday deals are available from Thursday 25th to Monday 29th of November with unbeatable discounts from Swarovski, Mikimoto, Roberta Coin, Hearts on Fire, Paco Rabanne, Jimmy Choo, Boss, Versace, and many more. All our jewelry and watches will be in Kirk Freeport on Cardinal Avenue. Perfume deals will be available at La Parfumerie and Strand locations. And check out great deals in Caraloha on Cardinal Avenue too. KirkFreeport.com for full details.
FedEx Delivery. Share this season with everyone by shipping your rum cakes and gifts with 30% off and get an additional 20% on your next shipment. Visit us. Restrictions apply.
Radio Cayman, your #1 community station, would like to remind you that we are in the hurricane season, and in order to survive a hurricane, you need to be prepared. If officials' sources say a hurricane is imminent, please board up or shutter up windows in your home or place of business. Remember to use good lumber, as makeshift boarding may actually cause more damage. Also put strong bracing on outside doors so that they are not blown off or blown in.
This hurricane advice was brought to you by Radio Cayman, your caring community radio station.
Do you know how well your pension plan performed? Attend the Chamber Pension Plan's annual general meeting to stay informed and find out how you can achieve your desired retirement lifestyle. Members are invited to meet our trustees and take part in our question and answers segment on 1st December 2021 at 6:30 p.m. at the Chamber of Commerce Boardroom in Governors Square. Refreshments will be served. Please visit our website chamberpension.ky or email admin@pensions.ky for further details. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you.
Listen to the general public.
Your thoughts are just a telephone call away. 1-800-534-8255.
What the public is saying.
Let your voice be heard. And now,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. I'm Kathy Miller. We're just a few minutes ahead of our 2 p.m. news headlines, but I'm back to bring you the information, and I'm most delighted does not even describe it, to announce that all 3 defendants in the murder of Ahmad Arbury were found guilty just minutes ago. This happened in the United States a couple of years ago. If there's been so many incidents like this that have happened, but this was a young black male running through his neighborhood just on a jog, exercising in broad daylight, and he was chased down in a pickup truck and gunned down and just shot and killed, murdered. And he, at least his family has some justice for the young man's life being taken away in such a violent and tragic act and senseless act. So at least the family has some sort of justice. And thankfully, the American justice system, which always leaves me questioning them, have found these 3 white defendants, men, guilty for murdering this young black man who was just out on a jog. Very interesting to me how on one hand it seems like the media in America is celebrating the not guilty verdict found on Kyle Rittenhouse after he left his state, traveled to another to pick up an assault rifle to carry to another state to join what's supposed to be a peaceful protest, and ends up killing people in what he calls self-defense. Self-defense, as I knew, was never premeditated. You don't leave your house to travel to go somewhere intentionally wanting to bring your gun. That's not self-defense. So, but the American justice system found that guy innocent, and he's now on a media tour in the United States with this. So thankfully today's guilty verdict for the 3 men who did murder Ahmad Arbury did come through. So happy with the guilty verdict that was announced today. We're right up on our 2 p.m. headlines, and after our headlines, we will be having open mic. So I invite you to call me, talk to me like you did at the very beginning of the show, and I look forward to taking your calls.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman.
Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
The National Conservation Council's general meeting is currently underway. The meeting is open to public viewing via the Cayman Islands DOE YouTube stream due to COVID-19 restrictions. The complete agenda with appendices is available for download at conservation.ky. Turning to international news now, in a new interim statement, the World Health Organization on Wednesday called for nations to consider the benefits of vaccinating children and adolescents against COVID-19, but to prioritize sharing vaccines globally before proceeding to vaccinate children. The statement published Wednesday said countries should consider the individual and population benefits of immunizing children and adolescents in their specific epidemiological and social contexts when developing their COVID-19 immunization policies and programs. Sweden has named Magdalena Andersson as the country's first female prime minister, according to the country's official Twitter account. Andersson, 54, replaces Stefan Löfven, who recently stepped down as both the country's premier and as leader of the Social Democrats Party. Finland, Norway, and Iceland all have previously elected female national leaders. And the U.S. is facing its second Thanksgiving of the pandemic in better shape than the first time around, thanks to the vaccine, though some regions are seeing surges of COVID-19 cases that could get worse as families travel the country for gatherings that were impossible a year ago. Nearly 200 million Americans are fully vaccinated. That leaves tens of millions who have yet to get a shot in the arm, some of them out of defiance. Those are your latest headlines. I'm Shanda Gallego.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
Listen to the general public.
Your thoughts are just a telephone call away. 1-800-534-8255.
What the public is saying.
Let your voice be heard. And now,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
Welcome back to Talk Today. I'm Kathy Miller, filling in for Sterling Dwayne Ebanks. We have just less than 30 minutes left in the show, and we're going to be having open mic for the rest of the show, or until, if nobody decides to call and say, hey, they're happy or they're not happy with reopening, how they feel about the cruise ship that is scheduled, allegedly, to come here at the end of December. How they're feeling about the COVID cases that are happening in Cayman. I'm just going to assume everybody's okay with everything. So I hope we're going to get some calls and people are going to share their thoughts and their ideas, their suggestions on Cayman recovering and moving forward with COVID. The numbers to call are 1-800-534-8255 or 949-8037 or 949-6990, or you can WhatsApp at 925-3261. I know earlier in the show we had one caller call in to express her gratitude towards the garbage collectors, I believe it is, in Cayman. And I know some people were frustrated because they felt their garbage wasn't being picked up, but I think people also need to remember that a large percentage of those workers did end up with COVID or had to isolate due to somebody else on their team having COVID that they were in contact with. So we have to understand not everything is going to happen as fast or as scheduled. People do have to isolate, go into quarantine, so we have to have just a little bit of patience, a little bit of understanding of what is happening around us. So yes, thank you not only to the garbage collectors, but all the service workers that are out there, all the frontline workers that are out there working hard every single day. We do have a caller online, and let us take this call. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling Talk Today.
Yes, good afternoon, Mom.
How are you doing?
Okay.
Okay. Tomorrow you're going to be even better. What's going on? Tell me what are your thoughts today?
Well, concerning employees having to wear masks for such a long period of time, it's very unhealthy. And employers should not be able to force employees to wear masks for such a long time. And especially if they're being told they'll be fired if they don't. Because wearing a mask for such a long period of time, 7 or 8 hours, is very unhealthy. Thank you very much.
I have a question. Wait, did you go? Did he left before I could ask the question. That's okay. So caller, if you do call back, if you hear me ask this question, so the comment was he thinks it's very unhealthy for employees to have to wear a mask throughout their working day, and that it's very unfair if they're being forced to, or they'll lose their job. I understand these sentiments, but my question before he disconnected with us would be, How would you feel if you knew you gave somebody COVID and they passed? How would you feel if you worked with somebody that is immunocompromised? Perhaps they're unable to get vaccinated, or they got vaccinated, but they're immunocompromised and they're with immunosuppressant medication that they have to take. How would you feel knowing that you're perhaps, and I'm not saying this caller has a disregard to wearing a mask, but for those that don't really care about wearing a mask around others, how would you feel knowing that your actions may have taken somebody else's life? So that's my question. And I'm not saying that caller is doing that, but that's just my question posed to that caller. So if you do want to call back and give me your thought there, I would be welcome to discuss that further with you. It is hard. It's a really hard thing, and it depends on your working environment, what's really required from you. There's all sorts of different masks out there that make breathability a lot easier. There's masks with certain material that just aren't good for your face, period. So if you know that your skin is changing so much underneath that mask, if that's affecting your skin, imagine how that's also probably affecting your lungs. So I just look at it like that. The material that's pressed up against your face that's supposed to be filtering the air for you, how is it also possibly affecting your health in other ways? So I understand where the caller is coming from, but I also understand that we're just trying to figure this out and get through it and do our best not to make other people sick and possibly to the point of them losing their life. You can give me a call at 1-800-534-8255, 949-8037, 949-6990, or you can WhatsApp me at 925-3261. Earlier today, we were discussing a new exhibition called Unstoppable Steps at the National Gallery. The artist is Janjir Powery, and I saw his ceramics in person during Cayman Art Week at the Monaco Building. The Monaco Building is the old CIBC building. It's right beside Bread and Chocolate. So if you're familiar with the Monaco Building, you'll know that they have kind of repurposed that space for a few different things. And whenever Cayman Art Week was, not that long ago, I can't remember the months anymore. It was a great, very varied exhibitions that were happening in different areas throughout Georgetown, actually throughout the island. But I only did the Georgetown tour. So when I went to the Monaco Building, saw different sculptures and loved it. But man, when I saw Janjir's work, I completely was blown away. It's amazing how detailed he can get with his ceramics and how he does scale things down to different proportions in size. So I think people should absolutely check out his exhibition. It starts tomorrow at the National Gallery and it runs through until January 21st. You can also go online to nationalgallery.org.ky, I believe. If I gave you the wrong website, I'm going to give you the right one right now. nationalgallery.org.ky. Yes, I was correct. So you can also see some of his ceramics on display online. Also, a handful of other artists you can see there. You can see older exhibitions because they are digitally archiving most of the exhibitions online with the National Gallery. We also have a caller online. I was just going to talk about Project Nights again, but we got a caller online, so let's take this caller. Good afternoon. Thank you for calling Talk Today.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
Fine. I just want to ask a question in regards to doctors and nurses. You have any idea how many hours a day do they wear a mask?
At least 12.
Okay. And they're doing their jobs and they're surviving, right?
Yeah, and they have had to do that before mask mandate came in.
Before, yes, exactly. What I have learned about the people of the world today that
Ma'am, you cut out?
Pardon?
You cut out a little bit. If you could just repeat.
Yeah. I said what I'm learning today about, not just today, but as the years go by about the world, how things are changing rapidly. There was a saying one time that the government mentioned here years ago that if you don't get with the program, you'll be left behind. But I'm not going to put that with COVID. So don't take that out of the context for me, please.
Gotcha.
I just wanted to say that wearing a mask it's not as comfortable, but if you try to practice wearing it, it becomes a bit comfortable because even when we had the summer break, and didn't have to wear no mask. I was still wearing masks, and people were like, "You wearing masks, and we're not compelled to wear a mask." I said, "Well, we get back in it sooner or later, so I'm practicing for when we have to really." I wouldn't say mandate, but try to wear it as much as possible. That kind of way. So when I don't have it on, I feel my face feel a bit weird. So I will go back to my car and get it and put it on. So I start wearing it on my wrist now that I don't forget it at any point in time. But to say all of that, to say this, that COVID is not letting up. COVID is not letting up anytime soon, and we just need to practice something. Everything doesn't come easy. It's just like when I was building the road up there by Hurley's, everybody's complaining, "Oh, I got to go all the way up before I can get into Hurley's, then I'm coming down and yakety yak." Hey, that is life. They say they want progress. Well, we get progress when we do these things. And now that the COVID is making us wear masks to try to save lives, we just got to try to get accustomed to it and used to it. It's like drinking a beer. You don't like beer, but if you drink it 3 and 4 times a day, you get accustomed to it, and some days you can't go without it. I shouldn't put all that with COVID, but I'm just trying to give some examples.
Ma'am, that works. That absolutely works.
And I just wanted to say that some people need to go to China and Japan to see how they wear their masks on a regular basis. Because when I see them coming on a cruise ship on this hot and brawling sun here in the Cayman Islands, and was no COVID at that time, and coming off wearing their masks and their gloves, and I'm like, why are they so geared up? They're prepared for whatever storm hits them. But I see now why they're trying to protect themselves regardless of where they may go from country to country, and we don't know what's up there. I just asking everybody to just try to live with the situation, try to get comfortable, and stop taking your mask down when you want to talk to someone. Keep your nose covered and your mouth because you can't talk through that mask. So let's just try to protect each other because I don't think that COVID is going to last forever, but let's just try to save some people's lives. I just want to leave that with you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I agree with your words, and thank you for sharing them. It made a great point regarding how many hours a day do doctors and nurses wear their masks. We also have to look at, in my opinion, I look at Muslim women and the ones that have to wear a burqa, or that choose to wear a burqa, I should say, and only their eyes are showing. So, I'm looking at these kind of things too and being like, okay, so it's something that not everybody may be comfortable with, but we can get through it. We can do it. So yes, absolutely. Try to find a mask that's better suited for your face, that fits, because not everything will fit, especially behind your ears and rest on your face great. So it might take a little bit of searching, a little bit of research. Find that mask that's perfect for your face. We do have another caller online. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling Talk Today.
Good afternoon again. Your previous caller was so on point.
The lady?
The lady was so very correct.
Yes.
Over the last 20 years, I've observed people from the Orient who have worn masks coming off cruise ships or going while traveling. You could see that they did so because their circumstances and their environment demanded it, and it was a life and death matter. During World War I, if you were a soldier, it was incumbent on you to wear a mask because they were using significant portions of gases which killed people, and they needed to protect themselves in spite of the discomfort. And the previous caller was also very, very poignant in that if you think that wearing a mask now is uncomfortable, you need to be a healthcare worker working for 15 hours wearing PPE. That is not just a mask. That is wearing almost triple the amount of protection to protect the client and to protect themselves for 15 hours without necessarily a break, depending on circumstances. And they are unable to shift that mask to ease an itch, because in doing so, it could compromise them. It is so, I think it is, we need to really step us outside of ourselves and realize that if we don't adjust, adjustments are going to be made for us, which will be lethal to us. And a physician and a nurse who has to stand there for 8 to 12, 15 hours to take care of making somebody stay alive, wearing triple the garments that we perceive to be uncomfortable for that period of time. And if there's a compromise, they have to leave the room, take off everything, and then re-robe. We have no discomfort in comparison to those who are trying to keep us alive. We need to be unselfish to minimize the discomfort for healthcare workers whose lives are on the line, to make sure that we stay alive if we have COVID. And especially as we advance in our state of securing infections in our community, it becomes important. We have a group of very selfish people who disregard advice and who walk into public spaces with half-dressed in terms of masking, deliberately so, and when you approach them, they are aggressive. It is also very interesting that some of those same people will be very, very demanding when they get sick and they decide that they want to be placed on a ventilator and they want all the care from all these people who have to put their life at risk for them. I thank you very much, and I thank the previous caller for highlighting those critical points. Thank you.
Thank you. Great points. I think all our callers, they all had a point to make, a comment to make, something that they believe in. So I understand the first caller saying he thinks it's unfair for us to wear masks or for it to even be forced upon places of employment. I do understand where he's coming from. I also understand why it's a requirement being made for us to wear masks, the importance of it. So the next two callers after our original one, I appreciate their points in saying, hey, look at the healthcare workers, how long they have to wear their masks for. They've been doing this since before COVID. I remember looking at some photos from back in the day, a couple 100 years ago, with people wearing wild masks, not the little masks that we have right now, but just they were some contraptions that these people had to wear. And I'm just thinking about the weight of it. It was too much. So we have to wear them right now, and at least they don't look like they did look 200 years ago, and they're not as heavy and they're not as bad then. So, we're somewhat advancing in that area. But yes, wear your mask. You never know whose life you are saving. It could be your own. We're going to go to a commercial break.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab. Blood test, x-ray and mammogram, all of that is MedLab. Affordable fees and friendly service, a full professional team. MedLab is always comfortable, MedLab is always clean. For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Call 949-7331 and ask about MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
We may be in Christmas shopping mode, but 'tis the flu season too. Savannah Pharmacy has immune system boosters for the entire family with a range of vitamins and supplements. Their knowledgeable and courteous pharmacists are always available to offer the best advice and products. Remember, they are always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
A friendly holiday reminder. You can WhatsApp your Savannah Pharmacy prescription to 929-5045. That's 929-5045.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vamp Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vant Motors, Walkers Road. The Paramount Carpet pre-Christmas sales back. Wednesday, November 24th through Saturday, November 27th. Save big with assorted remnant tiles, 250 square foot, $100 a pallet. Assorted remnant granite slabs, $300 each. Area rugs, 35% off. Carpets, 25% off. Granite and marble slabs, 25% off. And all other in-house tiles, 20% off. Cash and carry or storage fees will apply. Visit the big sale at the Paramount Carpet from November 24th through the 27th. Located at 317 North Sound Road, Industrial Park. Open Monday to Friday, 7:30 till 5 and Saturday, 7:30 till 2. Call 949-5000.
We do a whole lot more than just cover your floor at Paramount Carpet.
Watch and listen to win big this Christmas with a Digicel Prime bundle. Stream all the music you want in the music. Binge Christmas movies in PlayGo. Watch NBA games in Sportsmax, all while on the go without using any of your data. That's more entertainment, more data, plus more chances to win from thousands of prizes. Enter to win the grand prizes of $10,000 cash, $5,000 cash, or a Digicel family pack with 4 smartphones and free service for a year. Claim your guaranteed prize every Saturday. Buy a 7-day Prime Plus bundle for $20 today. Digicel, better together this Christmas.
Funky Tank's Black Friday sale is now on.
Moxie, if you snooze, you will lose out on some big savings.
That's right. If you snooze, you lose. So head on down to Funky Tank's and take 15% off laptops and LG TVs, as well as split unit, 24,000 BTU, 20% off Fire Sticks, 25% off soundbar systems and microwaves, 30% off rugs, comforters, and sheet sets, 10% off refrigerators, LG stereo systems, marked down from $169.95 to $119.95. Panasonic music system was $244.95, now $198.95. Amazon 10-inch tablets now priced at $169.95, and the Samsung 8-inch tablet is a steal at $174.95. Sale is on at both Funky Tank locations. Shen Road, telephone 949-0998, and Countryside Savannah 943-0998.
Listen to the general public.
Your thoughts are just a telephone call away. 1-800-534-8255.
What the public is saying.
Let your voice be heard. And now,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. I'm Kathy Miller, and we're in our final stretch, just a few more minutes before the end of today's show. So if you want to get your comments in, get your thoughts out there, give me a call at 1-800-534-8255, 949-8037, 949-6990, or you can WhatsApp me at 925-3261. I want to give a few shout-outs right now. So the big one is, for me, a happy birthday shout out to my friend Kylie Arnold, one of my great friends. Her birthday was on Saturday, so big happy birthday to you, Kylie. I want to give a shout out to all the athletes, our Caymanian athletes that have left for the Pan American Games in Cali, Colombia. And Cali is the birthplace, the home of salsa dance. So if you think salsa came from somewhere else, a Colombian, specifically from Cali, will be quick to correct you on that. And trust me, I've seen some amazing salsa dancers, but the best ones I've seen definitely were from Cali. Also, a big shout out to our Miss World Cayman Islands, Rashana Hides. She's in Puerto Rico right now for the Miss World competition. She's been there for a few days. If you follow her on social media, or if you don't, please do. She's updating you and letting you know who she's meeting and what her adventures are like in Puerto Rico. And also another big shout out to our Miss Cayman Islands Universe, Miss Georgina Kerford, who travels today to Israel to compete in the Miss Universe competition, which should be later in December this year. So we've got some athletes competing for Cayman in Cali, Colombia. We've got two of our beauty queens, one in Puerto Rico and one on her way to Israel to represent the Cayman Islands. So keep them in your prayers. Help support them on their different competition platforms that they have on social media to help them gain a little bit more recognition and support your Caymanians. Our last segment of the show, we had Honorable J.E. Banks, Minister for Planning, Agriculture, Housing and Infrastructure, or PAHI, and Leda Nicholson Makasari, who's the Acting Chief Officer in PAHI. They were on the show to talk about the NICE project. So it's a program that is a cleanup beautification program throughout the Cayman Islands, and it runs from the 6th to the 23rd of December. If you're looking to register, all new applicants can do so on December 1st between 9 a.m. and 12 noon. And the places that you can apply on December 1st in each of the districts, we have East End, the East End Civic Center, North Side, the North Side Civic Center, Bodden Town, Webster Memorial Church, in Savannah, Baptist Church Hall on Pedro Castle Road, in Georgetown, the Georgetown Public Library, in West Bay, Church of Christ on Batabanoo Road. So on December 1st, between 9 a.m. and 12 noon, if you are looking to partake in the NICE program, definitely go to those different sign-up areas. If you are a returning applicant, you are asked to WhatsApp 917-0153. Again, that number is 917-0153. You can also email N for nice, CEP, ncep@gov.ky if you're a returning applicant. That's where you would send your registration form. They can also be dropped off in the secure NICE drop box at work, all public libraries, or the government administration building reception. You are not required to attend registration on December 1st if you are a returning NICE worker. For the first-time applicants, if you're looking to be a first-time applicant, first of all, you must be Caymanian and you must be unemployed and over the age of 18. Or you can be an unemployed spouse of Caymanian with the right to work. The application forms can be collected from your respective MLA offices, work, the NAU, all public libraries, or again at the Government Administration Building reception. So if you're looking for an application to bring in on December 1st, you can do so. Or even if you're the returning applicant, you can pick it up from government, the public libraries. Check out your member of parliament in each district when they're supposed to have an office. Check them out as well. Work or NAU. You can get your application forms there. The working hours for NICE will be between 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. Monday to Friday. There is a short training session involved. There's also protocols involved with COVID, trying to make everybody work in certain groups to keep the workers at least distance from themselves and to keep them as safe as possible. They'll also be providing lunch, and the selected participants will be subjected to lateral flow testing throughout their involvement in the program. And as I mentioned, other COVID-19 safety protocols. Transportation is not provided to and from work, so if you are looking to be a part of the NICE project, try and figure out how you can arrange transportation if you do not have any of your own. So that's what's going on with the NICE program. December 6th to 23rd, you still have some time if you're unemployed, a Caymanian, looking to get over the age of 18, looking to get a little bit of money over this holiday season. Definitely check out the NICE program because it was created to help you out and clearly to help out the Cayman Islands, the country that we love to live in. So let's take care of it together. And on that note, we are done for Talk Today for this afternoon. Thank you to everybody for your calls. Thank you to our guests for coming in. And thank you to our listening audience. I will be back with you tomorrow on Talk Today. So I look forward to chatting with you all then. Thank you. Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, Tourism and Transport. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. MedLab in Smith Road Plaza, your complete medical laboratory solution. Call 949-7331. And Savannah Pharmacy in Countryside Shopping Village, convenient opening hours including Sundays and holidays.
Is where tradition never dies. This is your radio, Cayman.